Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayed Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, Killing of the Demon Trinavarta, text number 12. Purvavat Sthapitam Gopair Purvavat Sthapitam Gopair Balibhihi Sa Parichhadam Balibhis Sa Parichhadam Vipra Utva Archayam Chakror Vipra Utva Archayam Chakror Dadhi Akshata Kusha Ambubhihi Dadhyakshata Kushambubhihi Purvavat Sthapitam Gopair Balibhissa Parichhadam Viprahutvarchayam Chakror Dadhyakshata Kushambubhihi Purvavat Sthapitam Gopair Balibhissa Parichhadam Viprahutvarchayam Chakror Dadhyakshata Kushambubhihi. Sthapitam Gopair Balibhissa Parichhadam Prabhatam Chakror Dadhyakshata Kushambubhihi. Purvavat, as the handcart had been situated before, Sthapitam, again assembled, with the pots situated properly, Gopai, by the cowherd men, Balibhihi, all of whom were very strong and stout, and who could therefore assemble the parts without difficulty. Saparichhadam, with all the paraphernalia kept on it. Vipraha, the Brahmanas, Utva, after performing a fire ceremony. Archayam Chakruho, performed ritualistic ceremonies. Dadhi, with curd. Akshata, grains of rice. Kusha, and kusha grass. Ambubhihi, with water. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. After the strong, stout, cowherd men assembled the pots and paraphernalia on the handcart and set it up as before, The Brahmanas performed a ritualistic ceremony with a fire sacrifice to appease the bad planet, and then with rice grains, kusha, water, and curd, they worshipped the Supreme Lord. Please repeat this translation. After the strong, stout cowherd men assembled the pots and paraphernalia on the handcart and set it up as before, the Brahmanas performed a ritualistic ceremony with a fire sacrifice to appease the bad planet, and then with rice grains, kusha grass, water, and curd, they worship the Supreme Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The handcart was loaded with heavy utensils and other paraphernalia. To set the cart back in its original position required much strength, but this was easily done by the cowherd men. Then, according to the system of the Gopa Jati, various Vedic ceremonies were performed to appease the calamitous situation. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam yat kripatamaham vande Paramananda Madhavam yat kripatamaham vande Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So this chapter, the killing of demon Trinavarta, contains three pastimes of Krishna. The first pastime is the killing of the demon Shakatasura. That a demon has appeared in the form of a cart itself is amazing. These demons who have mystic powers, they can appear in any form. And from this description it appears that the demon was hiding in the cart. Because the description here is, after this incident, the strong and stout cowherd men assembled the pots and paraphernalia on the handcart and set it up as before. So if they could assemble the cart after all is made up of some wood and metal. So they reassembled it. Formerly there were no big industries as such, because people are living a simple life. So whatever their necessities, they would definitely have them by simply assembling some pieces of wood, metal, And modern men think, oh, we are very advanced, we are very intelligent, we are very resourceful. We can manufacture, design big machines for anything and everything. So in the scriptures there's a warning. In Kali Yuga, people will become busy with useless activities just because they are able to have so many machines. So as a result of this, people neglect the prime business of human form of life. Our acharyas, they always lament. Nowadays, people have become so very busy with useless activities. And they are going deeper and deeper into illusion, into Maya. Our very birth in this material world is due to our entanglement in material existence. It's only due to our past foolish activities of karma. And having got the human form of life, which is the only opportunity to actually make a solution to all these problems of material existence, we waste time with useless, unnecessary, meaningless, so-called development. And big governments with lot of money, with lot of intelligent people, with so many resources, they are exploiting the resources of material nature. They are exploiting people. They are exploiting everything available simply for complicating our situation more and more, so that donkeys become bigger donkeys. This is the statement of one of our acharyas. Jiva ke karaye gadha. Even if somebody is not a donkey, intelligent person, sober person, but misled by the so-called development, they engage in useless activities, industrial activities, scientific research. Scientific research by itself is not condemned. Industry by itself is not condemned. But endlessly go on innovating, making more machines and becoming lazy and becoming so busy, no time for self-realization. No time for developing God consciousness. Almost to the extent that they almost completely neglect spirituality. It's only possible in this human form of life. Animals cannot understand what is the goal of life, Why are we suffering? Nobody wants suffering. Nobody wants suffering. But why are we suffering? Why are we forced to suffer? And it's very evident that the suffering is only increasing. And life is becoming more and more complicated. In contrast, look at the cowherd men 5,000 years back. Of course, they are all devotees, but even if we don't understand who is a devotee, some village people, there was an accident or some kind of calamity that a cart broke apparently for no reason at all. And a small child, a beloved child of the entire community, Krishna, is lying beneath the cart. Small child, 3 months old. And they were all busy with a celebration, Utthana, Utsava, that the child has started growing up and it turned on its side. So Mother Yashoda decided to celebrate the occasion, and she invited the cowherd men, women, brahmanas. So while the celebrations are going on, this big calamity, the whole cart collapses with so many heavy vessels. And then Mother Yashoda is so very anxious to protect Krishna. That the description here is, the assembled cowherd men and ladies began to contemplate how this thing had happened. Is it the work of some demon or evil planet? Because they had experience of Putana, demon coming and trying to kill Krishna. But somehow Krishna was saved and the demon was killed. So now they began to wonder how this cart could fall apart without any visible reason. So the small children who were with Krishna, they had very keenly observed, and they were telling the cart had been kicked apart by the baby Krishna. So the assembled gopis and gopas, the elderly people, they were unaware that Krishna is always unlimited, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not that they are godless or they are in ignorance. They are all Vaishnavas. They are worshippers of Vishnu. They know Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But that Vishnu himself has actually appeared as the son of Yashoda and Nanda, that they do not know. But still, because at heart they are devotees, they have so much devotion naturally for Krishna. They are so much attracted to Krishna. So these things are very difficult to understand unless we try to understand through the medium of the parampara system. The entire Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially these two scriptures, can only be understood properly if we hear or take help of the Acharya coming in parampara system. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita declares, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarishayo viduhu. And this parampara system is not something new that Krishna is speaking about in the Bhagavad Gita, in his instructions to Arjuna. This is since the beginning of creation itself. Krishna instructed Brahma. Brahma was completely lost when he was born. He didn't know, who am I? What is the source of my birth? What am I supposed to do? He is the first created being. And he is born from Vishnu. And Vishnu is not visibly giving birth to Brahma. Brahma is born on lotus flower coming out of the navel of Vishnu. Now these descriptions are all extraordinary occurrences that all the modern foolish atheists, materialists will dismiss this as mythology. Your mythology says some Vishnu is there, from his navel one lotus flower is coming out. Lotus flower coming out of navel. All stories, imagination, a fertile brain. The truth is, these atheists have got fertile brain with all kinds of imaginations to dismiss all these facts. It's the atheists who have these, materialists who have this fertile brain. They are misusing their intelligence for misleading common people, simple people. On the other hand, the scriptures are meant for giving us proper knowledge, guiding us in the direction of becoming enlightened, becoming self-realized, making a permanent solution, ultimate solution for all our problems. But those very scriptures are dismissed by the nonsensical atheists. And Kali Yuga is an unfortunate age that these atheists, who in the former ages were recognized as atheists, and they were actually not taken very seriously. They were dismissed by the mass of people. People accepted spiritual authorities as their leaders. And the kings were ruling, they were all saintly kings. But Kali Yuga, we are unfortunate that we have got atheist people who are ruling us. Not all of them, but majority of them. Majority of the rulers are atheistic. And they are determined to exploit common people and mislead them in so many ways. So they are the greatest danger in this Kali Yuga. So here is a description in the Bhagavatam, Krishna Leela, describing how Krishna's devotees respond when there is a calamity. So the atheists ridicule devotees that if Krishna is the Supreme Lord, how can there be calamity? Is it not? If Krishna is supreme control, why there should be calamity? But what they don't understand is, this entire material creation itself is anartha. It's unnecessary. It's not a necessity. Why? Because there is a spiritual world, eternal world, full of bliss, knowledge, full of eternal life. And just because we do not know, or we have forgotten it, or we are ignoring it, neglecting it, therefore the necessity, so-called necessity of this material creation. Therefore the so-called necessity. And Krishna is kind that if we are stubborn and insistent, then Krishna provides. Like a child wants to play with some toys. Out of love for the child, the parents will give the child some toys. But if the child is stubborn and demands some dangerous toy, and the parents don't give, it will throw tantrums and cry and make a big scene. Out of love for the child, the parents will be forced to give the child, knowing very well that this toy is not safe for the child. And then the same parents have to deal with some accident, some danger. Are the parents ignorant? Are the parents careless? Or are the parents not bothered about the child's welfare? No, we understand that the parents are the most caring, the most affectionate. But if the child is not understanding, it doesn't accept parents' protection, shelter, guidance, then the parents are forced to satisfy the child in dangerous pursuits of the child. That's our position. This example is given in the scriptures to explain what is the situation of the living entities, especially the human beings. Actually, there is no problem for the lower creatures. They are all perfectly situated in their position. That whatever their desires, Krishna satisfies, and they are making progress in terms of their development of consciousness. But when it comes to human form of life, then this developed consciousness is a result of going through so many different births, or different types of bodies and different types of situations. Then this developed consciousness, if it is misused, the result is so many calamities. Otherwise, there's no need for any calamity. There cannot be any calamity. Just like the animals and birds, they are living without any difficulty, without any extraneous endeavor. They have got their living place, they are getting their food, they are having their needs, necessities, everything provided by God's arrangement. There is no scarcity, there is no enmity. Actually, if you have not visited a forest which is called a reserve forest. Recently, we had the opportunity to go to a tiger reserve forest. What is that name? Nagarhole. Nagarhole Tiger Reserve Forest. Beautiful place. There, we are not allowed to just freely go there. No. To protect the animals and to protect the forest itself, the forest department has got a system that we will have to go in their vehicle, and we'll be allowed to sit only in the vehicle and travel only on a certain road, and we can just look around. The animals are freely roaming. The animals, the birds, the insects, the worms, everyone is free. They have no danger from so-called hunters and human beings, no danger. And the forest officials, they also live there. And they are meant for protecting the animals and the birds and all that. And the tigers are roaming there freely. So I asked one of the forest officers who's accompanying us, "You have no fear of these tigers?" So the reply the forest officer gave me was very shocking to me. He said, "A tiger will never kill a human being for its food. First of all, it will not kill unnecessarily. It will only kill when it is in need of food. And it will particularly target deer." This is Krishna's arrangement. This is not some chance. No. So, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. This is explained in the Bhagavatam. One living entity is food for another living entity. So, the deer is food for the tiger. So, tigers will hunt for deers. And when the tiger is out hunting, there is one type of bird that will start flying. That category of birds start flying and warning the deers, now the tiger is out hunting. So the deers will all start hiding and they will be freely roaming. When tiger is not out hunting, the deers will be roaming freely. When the tiger is out hunting, the deers will all actually hide. So tiger will go searching. Where are the deers? Where are the deers? So till it finds one deer, it will keep searching. And that also in the daytime. Moment it is night, everyone retires from their all activities, including the tiger. So night there is no danger for anyone, from anybody. Within the ecosystem, I'm talking within the ecosystem. And again, daytime, the tiger has not found its prey, it's hungry. So again it will start searching for deer. So the scriptures describe forest is in the mode of goodness. So I was wondering, how can you say the forest in the mode of goodness? Of course, there are descriptions that saintly people go to the forest and sit underneath a tree and do meditation, or live in caves where they get protection from nature. But that apart, Some few saintly persons, very rare to find saintly persons practicing spiritual life in the forest. Most of the forest is inhabited by all varieties of birds, insects, worms, trees, plants, reptiles, animals, wild animals. They are the ones inhabiting the forest. But they live in perfect harmony. They live in perfect harmony. So this tiger which is hunting because it's hungry, if it kills one deer, it will bring that deer to its place where it is residing. So it will have its cubs, its young ones. So feed the young ones and it will also eat. And then that flesh is enough for 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So 3 weeks the tiger is happily staying there with its cubs and feeding on that dead carcass of the deer, on the flesh. And during that time, in between, they feel thirsty. They have to go to a reservoir of water, a pond. So it goes drinking. That time, no bird, no animal. Of course, birds are then you're flying in the sky, up on the tree. But other animals, the deer, the bison, the other creatures, all of them are drinking water. The tiger will also come, drink water and go away. No danger, no fear, nothing. No fear. Unless the tiger is out hunting, nobody has any fear of the tiger. In fact, even the tiger, the forest official, they have studied the behavior of the tiger and certain other animals over 40 years, 50 years they studied, and they recorded all their findings. They say the tiger never attacks any animal other than a deer. It never attacks a cow. It never attacks human beings. Only in very, very rarest of rare exceptions, when a tiger is very old, it cannot chase a deer, then it may attack a less agile creature like a bison or some other creature. Still, it will not attack a human being or a cow. Even if it is very hungry, it is very old, it could not find a deer. Of course, next to the deer, the next choice for the tiger is a bison. But it will never kill a cow or a human being. So the forest officers, they're living in the forest. Their houses are there, some quarters they have. But it's in the middle of the jungle. So they don't have any danger. They don't have any danger. So the point is that Krishna's creation is such that everyone in this material world is provided for. But it's only the greedy human beings who always want more than what they need, what their needs are. Because of greed, because of lust, because of the tendency to exploit others. only because of these qualities, bad qualities, the human beings are the unique species among 84 lakh species. Only the human species. So the human beings, they unnecessarily kill, they unnecessarily exploit beyond their necessities. They want to accumulate material things, material goods, material wealth. Whereas you see the life of the devotees, they live a very simple life. They don't exploit the resources of material nature for satisfying their greed because they are free from greed. They don't have lust, they don't have anger. All these things they don't have. So, the devotees live in harmony with God's creation, just like all the other species live in harmony with nature. This is the life of a devotee. And Srila Prabhupada says, even the Goswamis who are living in the Vrindavan forest, especially the ideal devotees living in a forest, are our 6 Goswamis, the principal disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jeev Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. They used to live in the Vrindavan forest. And they were busy writing books on the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. They would excavate lost places of Krishna's pastimes. They would give association or discuss Krishna Katha. So like this, they were leading a very, very simple life. As far as the eating and sleeping was concerned, it was minimized. They would sleep hardly 2 hours. And they would eat a little butter or a little milk or a little buttermilk. That's all. Or 1 chapati, they'll go and beg from householders. 1 dry chapati. That's all. Sanatan Goswami used to go and beg. But they are busy with welfare activity for the human society. Lokanam hitakarinau tribhuvane manyo charanyakar. So they are glorified like that. So their life, if we study, that if a tiger is coming searching for food, and the devotees or the saintly person, they are busy with their spiritual activities, then so that the tiger may not disturb them, they keep some milk for the tiger. And the tiger will come, it will see the milk, it will drink the milk and go away if it is hungry. If it is not hungry, it will neither bother anybody nor it will touch the milk. But if it is hungry, it is not finding a deer, it will simply drink the milk and go away. Satisfied itself. So, if this is the behavior of a less intelligent, wild animal, the so-called intelligent people of this Kali Yuga, materialistic people, foolish people, is simply to exploit, simply to satisfy their greed, lust, anger, enviousness, and invite reactions from nature in the form of calamities. So the calamities described in the Bhagavatam during Krishna's time, either they are calamities due to demons wanting to lord over everyone else, exploit others, or due to Krishna's own pastimes. Krishna stopped Indra Yajna. Indra became angry and sent torrential rains to Vrindavan. Now, Indra is Krishna's devotee. But somehow, Indra could not recognize Krishna's position as Supreme Lord, especially when Krishna stopped the Indra Yajna. So Indra became angry and he thought he is going to teach a lesson to these cowherd men who were listening to a small talkative boy and stopping their yajna which they offer every year. They are dependent on rain. So Indra is the controller of rain. So they worship Indra Yajna they perform, and that's also according to scriptures. So when they stopped, and Krishna stopped, so in order to teach them a lesson, Indra sent torrential rains. But Krishna, as part of his Leela, to teach all of us a lesson in spirituality and to even enlighten Indra about his own specific position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He lifted the Govardhan hill and gave shelter to the cowherd men and women from the torrential rain. Indra realized, and he stopped the rain and came begged forgiveness from Krishna, glorified Krishna, worshipped Krishna. So that so-called calamity of torrential rain, destructive rainfall, was not actually calamity. It is part of Krishna's Leela. So this cannot be understood by ordinary people unless they get guidance by the acharyas in the parampara system. So Srimad Bhagavatam explains all this. Shukadeva Goswami is explaining all this. Vyasadeva is explaining all this in writing in the Bhagavatam. But again, when we read the Bhagavatam, unless we are guided properly by an enlightened soul, an enlightened person, we cannot understand. Just because you know English and you had studied English literature, you cannot take a medical textbook and start reading and become expert in medical science. It's very simple to understand. Similarly, somebody is a Sanskrit scholar, studied some Sanskrit literature, and is an intelligent person. Simply reading the scriptures which are in Sanskrit, he cannot understand, cannot practically apply the teachings of the scriptures. So it requires a proper guidance, and that is missing especially in this Kali Yuga. Among the so-called scholars of Vedic literature who are not enlightened or who have not received the knowledge from the proper source, they are misleading people. Similarly, the atheists who don't even believe in the scriptures, who don't study the scriptures, They are misleading common people by simply labeling these scriptures as mythology. So, Srila Prabhupada wants us that don't put your faith in such materialistic persons who are not really meant for your welfare. They are actually posing as if they care for you, but actually they are not your real well-wishers. Krishna is the topmost well-wisher of everyone, and Krishna's devotees are also the well-wishers of everyone in the human society. Not just human society, the whole entire society of all creatures. Krishna and his pure devotees are the best well-wishers of everyone. So this description here that they performed rituals to protect the child is part of Krishna Leela, and it also indicates their simple way of living, depending on Krishna under all circumstances, depending on the Supreme Lord under all circumstances, and simply seeking a solution of dealing with calamities by worshipping the Supreme Lord. Because the description here is that with rice grains, kusha, water and curd, they worship the Supreme Lord to ward away the calamity. So this is a universal solution for all our problems. Simply if you worship the Supreme Lord, particularly in this age, simply by, you don't even have to get into the details of performing rituals. You simply have to vibrate your tongue and say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is a supreme solution for all problems. This one thing can solve all your problems and also give you the highest perfection of self-realization, going back to God. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki.